The Book of Thomas, its historical context and significance, and how it relates to Christian and Gnostic teachings. The Book of Thomas, also known as the Gospel of Thomas, is a collection of sayings attributed to Jesus. It is part of the Gnostic scriptures discovered near Nag Hammadi, Egypt, in 1945. Unlike the canonical Gospels of the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the Gospel of Thomas does not tell a narrative of Jesus' life, death, or resurrection, but focuses solely on his teachings. The discovery is a treasure for scholars because it gives insight into early Christian beliefs, offering a unique perspective outside the mainstream biblical canon. The Gospel of Thomas was discovered as part of the Nag Hammadi Library, a collection of ancient manuscripts, many of which were Gnostic texts. Before this discovery, the Gospel of Thomas was known only through fragments quoted by early church fathers, who often dismissed it as heretical. It's called a lost gospel because it was not included in the canonical Bible and was lost to history for centuries, only resurfacing in the 20th century. Controversial. The Gospel of Thomas doesn't focus on the traditional Christian narrative of Jesus' death and resurrection. Instead, it offers teachings that suggest salvation is found in the discovery of inner knowledge, which sharply contrasts with orthodox Christian teachings on faith, grace, and the atonement of sin through Jesus' sacrifice. Implications. For traditional Christians, this text challenges foundational beliefs, especially around the role of Jesus as the Savior of humanity and the path to salvation. The focus on personal enlightenment and direct relationship with the divine is seen as a radical departure from established Christian doctrine. Unlike the canonical Gospels, where Jesus speaks of God's kingdom in terms of salvation through faith, the Gospel of Thomas presents teachings that emphasize inner knowledge and spiritual awakening. The collection is often seen as a record of secret teachings, where Jesus speaks in paradoxes and deep spiritual insights. One well-known saying from the book is, "Whoever finds the interpretation of these sayings will not taste death," indicating the importance of understanding and inner enlightenment for transcending death. Nature of God. God is often portrayed as a divine presence within, emphasizing the idea of a personal, immanent God, rather than a distant or transcendent being. Spiritual awakening. The path to enlightenment in the Book of Thomas is seen as a process of self-discovery and realization of one's connection to the divine. Inner knowledge. One of the central tenets of the text is that true knowledge of God does not come from external rituals or teachings, but from inner wisdom, self-reflection, and understanding. The differences between canonical Gospels and the Gospel of Thomas are: canonical Gospels focus on the life of Jesus, his death, resurrection, and the message of salvation through belief in Jesus Christ. Gospel of Thomas. Instead of focusing on the life of Jesus, it provides direct sayings, logia, that challenge followers to find enlightenment within themselves. There's no focus on the crucifixion, resurrection, or atonement. The differences reflect the broader diversity of early Christian thought and the variety of interpretations of Jesus' teachings. Gnosticism, a religious movement that flourished in the early centuries of the Common Era. It emphasizes salvation through secret knowledge, gnosis, which reveals the true nature of reality. Gnostics believe the material world is flawed or illusionary, and salvation comes through spiritual knowledge, not through physical actions or faith in a divine Savior. The Gospel of Thomas is often linked with Gnosticism due to its focus on inner knowledge and its disdain for the material world. Scholars and theologians continue to debate whether the Gospel of Thomas represents authentic early Christian teachings, or if it is a later Gnostic invention. Some see it as an alternative interpretation of Jesus' message, while others argue it represents a distortion of Christian teachings, particularly with its emphasis on personal enlightenment over communal faith. In modern spiritual circles, the Gospel of Thomas has influenced many who seek a deeper, personal relationship with the divine, independent of traditional religious structures. It resonates particularly with those interested in mysticism, New Age spirituality, and the pursuit of enlightenment through personal experience and self-discovery. For individuals who feel disconnected from traditional religious frameworks, the Gospel of Thomas offers a more individualized approach to spirituality, focusing on personal insights and revelations. It speaks to those who are looking for a more esoteric understanding of Jesus' teachings, one that emphasizes inner experience over external dogma. The Gospel of Thomas aligns with Gnostic principles by emphasizing inner knowledge and the transcendence of the material world. It encourages followers to look inward for divine wisdom, aligning with the idea that true salvation comes from personal spiritual insight. The Gospel of Thomas is a remarkable text that offers an alternative perspective on the teachings of Jesus, focusing on enlightenment and inner wisdom rather than salvation through faith or ritual. Its discovery shed light on early Christian diversity and provided a new lens through which to explore the mystery of Jesus' message. As we wrap up our exploration of the Gospel of Thomas, I encourage you to dive deeper into this fascinating text on your own. There's so much to unpack in its teachings, and I believe that each person can come away with a unique interpretation of its messages. Whether you're approaching it from a historical, spiritual, or philosophical perspective, the Gospel of Thomas offers a wealth of insights that invite us to reflect on our own journey of self-discovery and enlightenment. There are plenty of scholarly interpretations and discussions out there that can provide more context and help you understand the different layers of meaning within the text. I urge you to seek out these resources and continue expanding your understanding of this ancient gospel. But most importantly, don't just take my word for it. Read the text for yourself, engage with it, and let it spark your own thoughts. What resonates with you? How do you interpret the teachings of Jesus in the Gospel of Thomas? Do you see any connections to your own spiritual practices or beliefs? I'd love to hear your thoughts, interpretations, and experiences. Please share them in the comments below. Let's create a space where we can have an open, respectful discussion and learn from one another. After all, the path to spiritual awakening is a personal journey, and every perspective adds value to the conversation. So, what's your take on the Gospel of Thomas? I can't wait to read your insights and engage in some thoughtful dialogue with all of you.